All right, all right, all right. Good day, good day. Welcome back to the We the Boys podcast. I'm here with the sexy and talented Italian, Salvatore Mancini.
What's popping, baby?
How you doing?
Not too bad, bro. Mentally a little fucked up because we got fucking slammed, but like aside from that, dude, life's good.
Life is good. All right. Well, today's well, it was kind of put together at the last minute possible.
Nah,
As you
never.
can tell, it's Thursday. Um, Wednesday came a little fast.
Dude, hella
Sal's
fast,
been
bro.
Sal's been grinding away, and I've been on productivity level 1,000, trying to get shit done here.
I haven't left my setup in 3 days.
Damn.
I haven't slept, haven't eaten, haven't sat up from my setup in 3 days.
Have you haven't even went to go like poop or something?
Nope. I have a baggie next to me. No, people are gonna believe that. Yeah, I'm trolling.
Yeah, I would have been careful with that.
People are definitely gonna believe that.
All right, I got the stream open. Alrighty. So today we're going to be talking about Vanguard.
Guarding the van.
Yeah, guarding the van. As you know, Sledgehammer Games' newest release, Call of Duty Guarding of the Van, was released just under a week ago. I haven't played the game yet, but we have the talented Italian Salvatore Mancini over here playing with all the heroics boys. Have been grinding it a lot, and today we're going to be kind of just talking about the initial release. Hopefully, getting into some CDL topics. Basically, how I'm going to go about it is I'm going to ask you some pretty open-ended questions to start with, just about the game as a general thing, and then we'll kind of go into some more detailed things, and then we'll switch over to CDL. Sound
All
good?
right, check it. We notice you, man. Oh my god, it's my favorite fucking podcast ever. Notice me, senpai. You've been noticed. I love you.
You've been noticed. All right. So, you ready to get this shit into it?
I'm ready to get into it. Let's get into the nitty gritty.
All right. So first up is the open-ended questions. First thing is, do you enjoy the game?
Yeah, actually, this game is. I'm having more fun in this game. If you took the MW season, the Cold War season, and put them together, um, yeah, you took both
like
of
it
those
better
games
than
together.
both
I like both
combined?
of them combined. This game, all right. So, game is really fun.
Okay.
It's got its problems, just like every other game does.
Yeah,
But
what
like,
fucking Call of Duty doesn't?
there's a lot of problems. Like I could go on and on about the problems currently in the game.
We'll get into that, I promise.
All right, but I mean, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. It's a game that I think it's peaked. It's definitely brought a lot of passion back from all the homies and seeing all the homies in court again and everybody gaming. It's been great. I mean, when do we ever see this? Like my court is packed with people now. We haven't seen that in fucking over a year. So I'm happy
Yeah,
to see it.
that was insane. Just seeing like more than 9 people
Yeah,
in a fucking court at a time. It was like the most popping our court has been in a while. So that is pretty awesome to see, and I'm glad that you and the boys are having fun. I don't know when I'm gonna get the game yet because I got a lot of shit to take care
yeah,
of.
dude, you gotta focus on you first, of course. That's always numero uno.
Okay, so as you said, enjoying the game. What has improved since last year's game with this release?
Um, honestly, I think that a lot of people are having a lot of fun in this game because of we're like a totally different game from Cold War. Um, Another thing, we're on the MW engine, and a lot of people in Cold War said MW is better than Cold War. I would agree that is the same case.
Yeah.
And we're now on the MW engine. It literally feels like MW with World War II guns. I had a lot of fun in MW. I was pretty fucking good at MW. Time to kill is faster than Cold War. Sometimes it's slower, but sometimes it's slower. But I mean, overall, I just think this game is like overall better. I'll say that if you take Cold War maps and take away the OG maps, the ones that they brought in, and then you take the Vanguard maps and put them side by side, I think Vanguard wins that category. I think Vanguard's maps aren't great. Their maps kind of suck. But
Really?
yeah, Cold War's maps were fucking horrid.
Cold War's maps were horrid. I heard
Cold War's
Vanguard
best
though was
maps.
better.
Yeah, I think they're better than Cold War's. But the thing is Cold War's best maps were the OG maps that got brought back. So that's not a fucking tough competition.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to beat.
Now, yeah, I think the maps are slightly better. I think the way the game plays is a lot better.
Okay.
I think this game is a game like Cold War you couldn't really slow down and pick up the pace. You had to play at the same pace almost the whole time. I mean, you could slow it down and pick it back up, but it was harder to. Like MW, you can slow the pace down to whatever you want to play to and speed it up within a split second. Like if you're playing hardpoint, you can pick up a pace for one hill, slow it back down for the next. That's again, this game is just like that. I think Cold War was a lot of go go go, slide out
Yeah,
chow,
Cold
slide
War
out
was
chow.
really it was weird because Cold War. So when people were bitching about Modern Warfare, like being a lot slower than games past, right? Like, because a lot of people were able to control that sense of movement. Like, you can't just run around with like, without your feet sounding like a fucking anchor hitting the ground every fucking way.
Yeah,
Without your dead silence dead silence allows you to improve the speed of things and kind of move. I didn't play a lot of Respawn, so I don't remember exactly how like fast moving it was, but it did seem pretty like switch paced. Like you had to keep on your toes, otherwise you're gonna lose fights. Cold War seemed like in the early days of MW, people were bitching about it, and then Cold War was like, all right, fuck it, we'll just make it all extremely fast because apparently that's the way that people like to play. Because people who like AW was a super fast game in terms of respawn. S&D was a little quick, not like extremely, but it was a pretty quick uh, game mode. But it seems like they were trying to bring back to the roots, and they failed miserably in that sense.
yeah. I think Cold War had all the intangibles of being a good game, and they just fucked it up,
Treyarch definitely lacked on that one.
which is shocking because Treyarch is usually very good at what they do.
I think you're right. I think Treyarch had like the foundation of this game could have been so much better than it was. I feel like there was just a lot of things that just didn't make sense for it to be in the game. Um, I feel like the things didn't really change too much. I feel like there could have been, metas once the metas were set. I don't even remember them really touching it that much. The XM4 always stayed fucking ridiculous, but didn't it get G8 in
It got
pros?
G8. It got nerfed and
Yeah,
G8, but its nerf was still fucking disgusting.
yeah, like it was still absolutely. I used it in fucking CDL all the time, and it was like still ridiculous. Once the metas were set, they barely even touched those guns, and I just feel like they kind of focused with the integration of Cold War to Warzone way more than the actual multiplayer aspect of the game.
Yeah, 100%. I think they took a lot of time towards Warzone. Another thing is Cold War is very catered to noobs. Hmm.
Very, even more so than Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare was pretty bad whenever
And this
it
is just
first
like
released.
MW. Like MW is was catered to noobs. This game is pretty catered to noobs, but Cold War easily was like fucking everything was put in their favor. Um,
Were shotguns used a lot in pubs? I didn't play pubs that much.
last year,
Yeah,
uh, yes and no, not really. Um,
because they were G8 and CDL, right?
yeah, they're always G8. Trying to think of what the shotguns were last year. Weren't the shotguns last year secondaries?
I thought there were secondaries.
They were ass last year. The shotguns were absolute ass last year, which is an aspect that I liked.
Although, yeah, me
If
too.
you make a shotgun shit, then nobody's gonna fucking use it in pubs, which ruins your pubs. This year a lot of people like if you play DOS House, people will sit there with a flame shotgun and sprint from one side of the map to the other and just chain kills together. You can put a 38 round mag on it and just sprint through the map. Just
That seems annoying.
yeah,
That'll get fucking nerfed. Although Modern Warfare said they were gonna do something about the 725, and they never fucking did. That gun
yeah.
is still broken to this day.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Cold War had I think Cold War had a lot more promise and it fumbled. I think that's why it was so bad because of how much promise it had. It had so much promise. We had a Treyarch game, everybody was excited, and they just dropped the ball on it. And I think this game I was not excited for at all. Like I was just like, all right, the game's coming and whatever. Like didn't get my hopes up, nothing. And you know what? They gave me a decent game, and because of what we've had in the past, a decent game is all it takes for make me fall in love with the game again.
Yeah, honestly, I think that really does help having the mindset of this game's gonna be shit going into it, like setting the bar extremely
Don't get
low.
let down is what I told myself.
Yeah, and I do think that the game looks better. Although from the streams, people are. It looks like a really demanding game too, because I saw like everybody was playing on low settings. Remy was having when he was streaming was having so much chop in his stream playback because all the bit rates was just straight going to the game, just trying to make sure everything gets rendered properly. But it looks really pretty from what I've seen. Like the big YouTubers who have like absolute units of computers. It looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I think even my stream looks good. I
Yeah,
have
your stream
lower
looks fine.
settings, and the game itself looks beautiful. I think everything, the maps look good. Like it's a very appealing maps. Like there's nothing. I think Cold War had more color, but this map has a lot more like appeal to it. Um,
Y- Honestly, that's kind of an interesting thing to bring up. Is that like, have you noticed that games really do just like all the Call of Duty games have this like weird color, like it feels like every map has like a certain overlay, like
yeah.
filter on it.
If you take if you go in the past from Treyarch to Infinity War, Infinity Ward, right? Yeah, Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer, they all have the same. They all have their same. Every map looks the same.
Although I will
Because
say that BO3 had probably the most vibrant color scheme
uh,
possible.
Infinity Ward always does, or sorry, Treyarch always does. Treyarch always has the most colorful maps, easily. They have the best looking maps. I think this year, because I'm expecting an Infinity Ward Sledgehammer type of game where the maps are like usually like fucking dull. Like look at Ghost. Ghost was fucking black and white practically, and there was
Pretty
fucking
much.
smoke on your
There was
screen.
it was like a gray,
Yeah, exactly.
constant gray. Modern Infinity Ward typically does like a sand dust kind of color to it. Like it feels like everything is very sandy
Yeah,
almost, or like you have like a smoke cloud in front of you. Um, this game kind of has the same feeling. It kind of feels like it's an orange-ish from
yeah, I
what I
could
was
see
looking
that.
at.
If
It's
you
like a
look at if you play Castle, I could see
or
the
like brown.
I
I
could
feel
see where
like
you're going
brown
with
is a
that.
heavy color, like a
See, it's tough
brownish
because
orange.
it's like Castle's a very like brownish orange, but then when you move to like a map like Demyansk, where it's all in snow, that's very like white and grayish. But it looks good. Like there's still color on the map. Like when you're getting towards the map, like Ghost for example, everything was black and white basically. Like I said, it's like very grayscale. But this
Yeah.
map, like everything is white because it's snow everywhere. But then once you start going towards like the buildings and stuff, seeing like little detail, like inside a church, inside of on Demyansk, it's so fucking colorful and nice in there. Like looks good. They definitely killed the map designs. Well, map
Like
looking, the maps
interior, yeah,
suck.
like map
The maps
interior.
fucking blow.
Did they try to go back to linear, or they did do the multi lane, or
So
like
it's like
everything's all fucked like Modern Warfare?
they kind of did a 3 lane system. Um, Actually, you know what? Fuck it. They did do a 3 lane system. Tuscan for S&D is a very 3 lane map. There's mid, which connects to both left and right side. Then you have an outer ruin side. You could just play that 1 lane, and then you have the B side, which you could kind of get from another angle, but it's pretty much a 1 lane. It's a 3 dimensional map or
Okay, so
3 lane map.
are all of the maps 3 dimensional, or do they like try to do like a like they try to incorporate different map variation kind of things?
Now that I think about it, a lot of the maps are very 3 lane. Berlin's very 3 lane. You have your outer train station that leads to A bomb. That connects right to your spawn. You know, defense spawn. That connects. It's just one straight lane, and then you have your dock side, which is another straight lane all the way to the other side spawn. Then you have your mid map, which has a lot going on, but once again, it's still a 3 lane map. There may be a lot in the middle of it, but it's a big map and it's still 3 laned.
I think I enjoy 3 lane more than I enjoy the multi-variational fucking bullshit. Like, so for
Realistically,
instance,
every map is the same. Now that I think about it, it's 3 lane with 1 lane in the middle that connects everything.
yeah, that makes sense though, because you want to
Yeah.
be able to go to mid and then switch your positions up. I think I enjoyed the 3 lane. I think that's why I enjoyed Arclaw Peak so much in general, because it was a very long 3 lane system. You had your mid, and there was obviously there was a bunch of crazy shit that was connecting in different areas of
Yeah,
it.
of course.
But the main three was, you had A site, which had a lot of different, and it felt like all three were different in their own way. Like mid was a lot of building to building battle, running out as a risk. There's alleys and stuff in there. Left side, you have to rely on the elevation differences to be able to compete with that, and then each spawn has a building. And then there was the right side, which still had the building thing, but it was a lot more just open field gunfight. There was a lot more. You had to be really creative with how you made your kills there. But think maps like Ramaza, I always hated Ramaza because of the way that A and B were positioned. It felt like they were doing it. It had like the basis of it seemed very 3 dimensional, but at the same time, it wasn't, because you could cross. It was just like open fielded almost, which is doors. Like they tried making it too realistic of a map, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think Ramaza is one of those maps where it was a 3 lane map. But they
But they threw too much
definitely
shit.
yeah, they definitely tried to throw in like it was almost like it was 6 lane. Like it was 3 laned up and down, but it was 3 lane to cross as
Yeah, they were
well.
like grouped. They were like grouped.
Yeah, and
You
it's
could, like,
very confusing that way because it's tough to control a map or like play a map competitively in a 3 lane. Like 3 lane maps flow really well with competitive because your S&Ds usually work perfectly fine. Depending on what's going on inside the map is what changes it because like you could have a map that's 3 lane looks good, but then everything is fucked outside of it.
Yeah, like, there could be terrible fucking positionings or like really broken spots for,
Yeah,
the
and that's
defensive
exactly how
side.
like Berlin is this game. You can get in fucking ledges that in S&D that I'm like, what the how the fuck did that kid get there? And he gets pissed on anyway, but like shit, how'd he get there?
I like that. I like that ego right there.
Dude, Cheke's fucking disgusting at this game.
Really?
He's actually
Good for
insane.
Check, bro.
Actually nasty at this game.
Good for Check. I'm glad that wonky gig is working.
He doesn't even have a good. He is worse than it than me. We did speed test.
Oh Jesus. Well, either way. So they've gone back to the 3 lane map
Yeah,
design, and it's not going so well so far.
it's their maps just have a lot going on.
What was that map that was that castle that you guys were playing on when I watched your stream?
Looks like a dojo.
Mm, possibly. That's the Japan-based map, I think.
Yes, that's
It
Castle.
was like the
Japan
first
based.
time you guys streamed, the first time you came back with stream.
I know because I play these maps so many different times because you only play a
You
certain
were
set of
playing
maps in the
eights,
CDL.
and I know you were playing against Remy at one point.
Was it S&D?
Yes.
Okay, then probably Castle. Castle's not a hardpoint map. That's why when you said 8s, I was a little confused.
Mm, I think you guys played one, and then you were like, never again. Put us back on on a respawn. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. It was Castle.
Yeah, that map looked really just weird. It seemed like one side, or maybe it was like on site, had a very, very like if you held that point, it feel like there was like they were trying to do too much with the elevation positioning. Making it harder for the people who are lower on the ground
So
to
yeah,
get those hits off.
B site. You walk in, it's literally like a dojo. There's a couple sliding doors that break, like they explode, destroyable, fucking gone. Um,
Yeah, I noticed that too. Everything just breaks.
and it's
There's no
really
sense
hard to
of
be.
cover.
It's hard to play competitive that way because like you can't hold a hard point. Like Decoy, for example, is a map. It's like a barn map.
Yeah,
P1 is literally inside the big barn. Every wall in that barn gets broken. Like you can if you throw nades at every part of that barn, it blows up. So if you do one rotation and somebody sat there, like say P2 rotates and somebody wanted to be a dickhead and fucking nade P1 the whole time, the whole entire P1 could be gone on the next rotation. It's just there
that's like
out in the open.
fucked. So it's just like a open field fucking gunfight, and everybody outside of it is just having a field day while you have
Pretty
like
much.
one or two people trying to charge point.
Pretty much.
That's absolutely. I don't know how much I enjoy that mechanic, but we can get into that here in a bit.
I think it's fucking
Um,
horrid.
do you think that the CDL, CMG, or GBs will be entertaining to play or watch, and why or why not?
Yes, 100%. I have not played this many GBs. Well, actually, I've lied. I've played a lot more GBs at the start of MW. But I've been in tournaments almost every day. CMGs, GBs, either every day, 8s every day. Like, it's a fun game competitively to play.
So passion
Hardpoint is
is it
extremely
safe to say
fun.
that passion's been reignited?
100%. 8s are extremely fun. I think hardpoint in this game is fucking immaculate. Some of the maps are questionable for hardpoint, but the hardpoint itself, like just the play style of it, is fucking immaculate. S&D, I'm ass at right now, so I don't really have a take on that. I have my moments, but it's just like it's not like any other S&D that I've played. This game is very like,
I've noticed that the S&D seems like a really choppy almost.
and it's very inconsistent. Like between map to
Yeah,
map, you have to play totally different every time.
which I kind of actually enjoy that aspect because it means you have to learn different strategies for different things.
This game is gonna
For,
be very strategy based. If you're not playing this game, like if you're a pickup team, you're gonna struggle in this game 100%. You could play a
and I
team
think
way worse than you in skill level. It's just if they have a strategy, they're gonna beat
it
you.
all just comes out. I think that yeah, I think with this game it seems like they took a very Modern Warfare remastered or like Modern Warfare approach
Literally, Modern
where
Warfare.
strats matter, like are essential. You can win fights even though you are like gun skill wise you are fucked. But if you guys have good strategies for holding down sites, different areas, different lineups and stuff, you can beat people like just purely off of your strategy alone.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
yeah, that's what I noticed so far. I mean, I saw fucking Remy's nasty at this game too. I saw that you were frying on hardpoint.
Every homie is nasty at this game. Izzy's disgusting. Rolly is disgusting. Even Devin is disgusting. Check is disgusting. Like, every homie is nasty at this game.
That's a good thing. I'm glad that
it's
the
fucking
passion's
great.
there. I missed the boys.
There's no, like, playing homie 8s and, like, one team is so one-sided. Like, it's actually fucking competitive, which makes it fun to play.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to switch focus to more detailed questions regarding the game's mechanics and gameplay overall. What do you think is missing from the game that would severely improve its playability?
Not missing. Destroyable walls have to go. It's what's in.
So destroyable walls?
Yeah, it's what's in that's the problem. Destroyable walls have to go. At least some of them. Like, I understand if you completely took them away, it would change the game completely. But, like, I think maybe get rid of some of the doors. Some of these fucking barriers are like, dude, you could be on a heady and accidentally sprint and you'll break the heady down because it's a destroyable wall.
Really?
Yeah, like there's a heady on Demyansk, which is on the side of your spawn building. If you heady that and you like go to sprint through it, you'll break the whole wall down. So when you can't get back on the heady, it's gone.
Yeah, I think they took a very Siege approach with that.
100%.
But they failed because Siege does it in a way like not every wall is able to be like.
And you have to break the wall yourself. Like you have to go up and punch it. You like. This you could throw a fucking nade and
you can
accidentally
reinforce those destroyable walls.
Yeah,
you can.
There's none of that.
People to counteract it, but
and you can't even like. Okay, if you're in a bomb site and the bomb site has a window, if I nade that window, it blows the window up completely. You can never shut that window again. Like it's just gone. You destroy the whole doors. You destroy the whole like. It's just kind of fucked up. I mean, if you really want me to get into the negatives right now, which I'm gonna just get deep into this because.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lots of issues. So I think destroyable walls have to go. It's a problem right now. Like it's fucking hard to play hardpoint when the hardpoint is gone on the next rotation.
Yeah, you have no means of setting things up pretty much.
Not only that, some of these destroyable walls absolutely fuck you. Windows, you can't sprint through a window. Like if you sprint through the window, you kick it open, but like they're not.
Break it?
You don't break it. You kick it open. Like it just opens up. But the problem is a lot of the windows in this game are two windowed. Like there's half and half.
It like an exterior or what?
No, it's like the window splits down the middle. So when you open it, it's like a cabinet.
Yeah, I get you.
So the biggest issue that I've had right now, I've tried to hop into buildings. I'll open up one of the two windows and I'm stuck in the window because the other one's still closed. Like I'm stuck there. So like you can't make a quick play. I didn't defuse a bomb because of that. And when I tried to open it, the other one closed, and the other one opened, the other one closed. Like, every time you try to do it, it flips. So you just fuck yourself.
Maybe making a mechanic, like, if you tap once, like, if you tap before you hop into the window or whatever, it opens everything up, and then if you hold, it'll open up one side, depending on the side that you're on, kind of thing.
Well, I personally think that what they should do is make it so they're, like, connected. Like, yeah, have them open up together the same way. Keep the same design, but if I go to jump through it, I shouldn't be opening one. Both of them should flick open.
Yeah, that would make sense. Especially since you're kicking open the window. Like if you're jumping through, it would make sense. Okay, so it's like small shit. I heard respawns are absolutely miserable in hardpoint.
Yeah, spawns are fucking horrible. Spawns are extremely bad right now. Squad spawns are back. So the only issue with that is, say, the biggest thing with Call of Duty is you want to push somebody out. Like if you're in a hill. And you know where next is. You want to set it up to where you're able to rotate freely and you're spawning the other team on the opposite corner of the map. So you have the current hill and you could get to the next hill with no problems. In this game, if you set it up like that, they'll spawn behind you and get hill. It's the same thing with MW. You basically have to keep somebody all the way in the back, and the problem with that is you lose the map pressure to where you're pushing it out.
Yeah, you're losing a guy on the field. You're losing a guy that could be potentially fragging out.
And where it all holds in, like say Cheke's playing spawns, right? And I'm pushed out right, ready to go next, and we're spawning them in the back corner. If Cheke dies, even if Cheke doesn't die, Cheke's in the back. When they go to hit hill, this is where the destroyable barriers come in. That guy in hill can't duck and hide behind cover anymore. He has to chow because there's nothing there anymore. The whole thing got blown up. So you have 3 guys in your face and you can't hide. You're just taking gunfights. Spawn, die, spawn, die. That's how this game is being played right now. Spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die.
So it's going to be a very high death.
Yeah. Game. It's high kill, high death. I've seen somebody already drop 100 kills in an 8's lobby. I've dropped 50 kills with 49 deaths. Like, it's That's
Exactly.
99 engagements in the map. That's insane.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous amount of engagements, but you're being forced into that.
It's just so
Yeah.
open. Like you're forced to be in gunfights all the time. Another thing, those destructible walls, they're everywhere.
Yeah, isn't Castle or is Castle the Japanese one?
Yes.
Isn't that like the whole like building is destroyable
Everything's
wall?
destroyable.
Like you
The
have no sense
upstairs
of
you can break
safety.
down and you can see bomb from upstairs. Vice versa, somebody could be downstairs, blow up the ceiling and look through, or
Is it like
the wall.
super easy to destroy them too? Like it's not like Siege where it takes
So
like
inconsistent. There's
what do you mean?
some walls and windows, you punch them and a little gash pulls up where you punched. There's others, you punch it and the whole thing comes down.
What about all right, so you said that you can see through the floor, right?
Yes.
So with Siege, there are people, there's a strategy that you basically are shooting, you have to shoot like 6 bullets to make a big enough hole for you to be able to peek through, but it's a very, very like unnoticeable hole that you won't really see unless you're like there and looking at it. Does destroying or like even whenever you nade the wall or the floor, there's always like little grates. So there's always
If
like
you're
a
asking
little
if you
bit of
could
a
see
sense of
through the wall,
cover.
yes.
Like completely, or can people fall through the wall or through the hole?
Yeah,
in the
so
floor?
alright, dojo. The dojo map. On top, there's a little square on the left side of the top, right? So you come up top, you climb in, you open up the door. Right to your left where the stairs are, there's a little hole there. You could blow that up and you could fall to the ground, to the bottom floor. Or
So
you
it's
could
like a
shoot through
hatch?
it. Yeah, it's not even like a hatch. It's supposed to be part of the wood, but it's a different wood, so you could tell it's breakable. And so what I do is I'll
Interesting.
shoot it, break it a little bit so there's little holes in it, and I'm looking through it underneath. And there's like clips Clayster has where he's looking through like a window, and like the window's not completely broken. It's just got like gashes in it, like looks like somebody shot through it. And he's
Yeah.
trying to look through it, and somebody's shooting him through a wall because you could see name tags through walls. Any breakable wall, you could see the name tags
That's
through.
kind of fucked.
Oh,
I
dude, the
really
list keeps
enjoy
going.
that. I really enjoy that. At least in Siege, whenever you do that, they took name tags out of the equation completely. Like you can't see, you can see body parts. Shadows get a little bit fucked up sometimes, but like name tags are never in question. You won't get sold out because of your name tag. It'll be because of the shit that you're doing
Listen,
and you're
I
overpeaking.
was playing a chow on castle. I got a 2-piece going into B bomb, and I crouched down behind this like in a corner, watching where they push through. A kid wrapped through my spawn, and all of a sudden it just died. I was like, what the fuck? I watched it cook him. He walked up to the wall that I was on. He looked down. He could see my name. He could see my name tag through the wall and just sprayed me through it and went around the wall.
Yeah, but that's something that's gonna have to be fixed.
It's got to be
That
fixed.
can't stay. Yeah, that can't
Listen,
stay.
this next patch has to have so many fixes. Like right now in S&D is horrible to play. There's a right now if you have bomb and I kill you, your teammate picks it up. It tells me that you picked up bomb. Tells me the team picked up bomb. I know when they pick up bomb now. I know when they plant. I know they tell you when somebody's defusing. You can't ninja anymore.
That's got to go. At least for CDL, there's got to be an option for like CDL gameplay.
Yeah.
There's got to be an option where it turns that off.
If I'm sitting in the back of the spawn and I'm ADSing bomb, you know how like bomb always has a little tag on it, right? Defend or whatever.
Yeah. Does it tell you like they're planting this spot, like they're planting an A or whatever?
No, so
Or did it say plant?
you can hear the click. The silent plant doesn't work. There's a setting for silent plant. When you put on CDL, it says silent plant, but you can hear the click of when they're putting down bomb. You know when they're putting down bomb. When they're defusing, if I'm sitting in the back of the map and I'm ADSing where the bomb is, and I see the tag, it says on the guy's name defusing through the walls. I could see it says defusing. You can't even fake it. You can't click and fake it because you can ADS and see it says defusing.
Interesting. That's kind of fucked.
Sometimes perks don't work. You'll have dead silence one game. The next game, nobody will have any perks. You won't have flak. You won't have ninja. You won't have anything.
So is ninja? What is ninja
Dead silence.
as a perk?
Doesn't work.
So ninja is dead silence, but
And
dead silence.
I have both.
is,
Yeah,
like,
and my
faster?
footstep. It picks up speed and you're quieter. You can still hear me though. With
Okay.
ninja and dead silence, you can still hear me. Tell me how. Tell me how.
That's so dicked. Okay. Well, you answered my next question, which was respawn or S&D.
Right now it's respawn.
Obviously respawn.
S&D just
and you
has
already
so many
said what's
flaws.
lacking. Yeah, you mentioned all of it. What is the current meta, and what do you think of it right now, like gun wise?
Subs MP40. Right now it's an automaton and a SCG AR meta. Um, I think it's I don't know. They're gonna one of those guns is gonna get nerfed, guaranteed, and it's probably the other one's gonna become the main AR. Like the SCG is a perfect flex gun. You can be quick with it. Automaton's a little bit slower, shoots faster, kills a little slower, but it's more accurate than the SCG. Like it doesn't move.
Okay, so that would I can see that actually being the main AR. I feel like they're probably gonna nerf the
We can have a
STG
3-gun meta.
Could.
At the current
But
moment, we can have a 3-gun meta.
people who are playing main AR are probably gonna play that just for the sense that, or like if the SCG, I guarantee you is probably gonna get nerfed. In my
Yeah, I think so
opinion.
too. They already did something to it.
Yeah, I feel like that one's gonna be the one that's gonna get hit the hardest, and it'll probably it might not take it out completely, but it'll definitely switch to the you said it was the automaton.
Yeah, but the reason why they're nerfing SCG is because there's a proficiency on there called Vital, and it makes the SCG a 2-bullet kill.
That is fucked.
Yeah. There's a clip of Illy. I could probably find it if I wanted to, but there's a clip of Illy. He's on Tuscan. He climbs a ladder to peak top, and he like when he gets to the top of the ladder, he crouches, peeks for half a second, shoots 2 bullets, and kills a kid. He just starts laughing.
That is dick.
Like
So
he
it's
just
very
shot
much
to
like
like
the AK
pre-fire.
from Cold War.
Yeah, it kills faster, shoots faster, more
Hmm.
mobile. It's way better than AK and Cold War.
That is fucked.
It's
Yeah,
banned and everything like CMG, GB, and CDL, but that's not the point. The SCG is gonna get nerfed because of that.
yeah, and I think that the reason for that is it's gonna be mainly for sub players, because sub players are gonna get blessed with faster fire rate.
MP40
And
kills faster. Like this, every gun is OP right now that's being used.
really,
MP40 is fucking disgusting. The MP40 could kill you at like it's got a little bit of a range drop off, but they're like it kills hella quick. But as automaton at close range is losing the gunfight. SCG at close range might win the gunfight.
depending on your
MP40 is so
attachments.
nasty.
Interesting. Can MP40 shoot long range as well,
Yeah.
or is the caveat the whole bloom thing?
No, I mean you can fucking spray that thing. I mean, there's different attachments that can make you shoot for like long range. Is a not a recoil booster. I forgot what it's called.
Accuracy, I heard it was the big thing to do if you want to be able to shoot long range with that
I
gun.
think it's the F8 stabilizer. It gives you +1 damage range and +2 accuracy. And the only thing it drops
Interesting.
off is your sprint to fire time and your hip fire accuracy. But you can map with
Yeah,
it.
I could see this game being a lot more focused on like the perks and disadvantages of having an AR versus sub. Like I could see them really trying to distinguish that. Like MW had trouble with competing with subs competing with ARs because ARs were able to fucking never miss, and the pre nerf M4 was able to like really fucking fry close and long range.
Nah, dude,
And
Merc MP5, Merc foregrip MP5 was fucking much better than the M4.
yeah, that was really broken too. But didn't the Merc foregrip MP5 get nerfed before the M4
MP5
did?
got nerfed and the Merc got GA'd, and then they also GA'd the damage barrels on the MP5. They did everything in their power to get rid of the sub that year.
Yeah, I remember. I could see it definitely being more balanced this year though than years past.
And I know like last year they tried to make subs 4 attachments. Everybody you can run an AR with 5 and you can only run 4 on a sub. Yeah, they tried that.
Sure, that went real well.
It's just they're always the problem with this game is like there's no pick 5 system. You can't pick 5 attachments. You could pick a attachment in every category.
No, there's no limit.
There's no limit. There's I think 10 category slots. You can pick all 10. There's no limit.
That's kind of fucked. They're gonna have to limit that, at least for CDL, like for comps, because otherwise every gun is just gonna be ridiculous on the map.
Yeah. It's they're not gonna limit it because every gun can have it, but like granted there's not.
Is there anything that stands out? Like, is there like a damage barrel?
Yeah, everything's already banned. Everything already got GA'd.
Oh,
for
they've
comp.
already got GA'd.
Yeah,
Do they
slashers on
GA
it.
snipers?
Almost. They're getting ready to. Illy's pissed, but yeah, they're trying to get rid of snipers. I don't
Yeah,
know
I remember
why.
seeing
There's
that
no
clip
aim
of Illy.
assist on it. Like the problem is we went 2 years of no sniping. No, we went a year with no sniping, and people were happy with it. But it makes S&D so boring. It makes S&D the exact same every time. There's no
Yeah.
flash. There's no like. There's certain maps right now that if you use a sniper in a 4v4 play and you you can change the map completely, but we can't use it.
I don't know. I think I just enjoy because so for me, I've been playing a shit ton of Valorant recently. God help me. But I enjoy the aspect of the game because having a sniper on the map, it obviously the caveat to having a sniper on the map is it's typically more expensive other than the outlaw, but the good sniper, the app on the map costs more, but it adds such a like hindrance to the other team who has to go up against it because you can't just openly pick things. You can't just run around the map and win gunfights randomly. Obviously, you can beat the sniper, you can kill the sniper, but
I think
you
that's a
know it,
different. I think that has a different aspect to it than COD though, because if we're thinking about this, if you have an op and you're sniping C-Long on what's the map called? Haven.
yeah,
So say you're sniping C-Long and somebody peeks. You can't really peek fast in Valorant. Now, if I'm
yeah,
sniping in COD on a map similar like C-Long and somebody slide cancel around the corner, my snipe's not gonna guaranteed hit.
yeah, but it has the same concept. Like obviously you can peek, but you can't just always openly chow, especially with a good sniper on COD. Like our Claw, for example, with the AX50, that sniper was ridiculous in S&D maps, like on heavily focused S&D maps. It
Yeah.
changed everything because if you have a sniper, it forces the other team to pull out a sniper, to have an actual sniper fight.
It either
Or
forces you or
if
you move to the other side of the map.
yeah, you have to because otherwise that's too much range and too much power, and especially because people are talented enough to hit these snipes getting shot at with automatic weapons. Like
Aye.
it adds a level of fucking crazy shit that needs to be in the game. Otherwise, S&D, you're right, we'll just get completely boring, and it's already boring.
I could see why we got rid of it last year. Last year there was aim assist on the snipers. Okay, 100% take it out. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
that sniper was ridiculous last
This
year.
year there's no aim assist on the snipers. Why are we still having this fucking debate?
I think I think people just hate the car.
It's just I think we have too many old
Everybody
heads in the
hates the car.
CDL. There's too many old heads in the CDL. Listen, we saw what Simp could do with a sniper in fucking BO4. Okay, he ran around the map like it was his own fucking playground with a sniper. Okay,
Yeah.
we went to MW and sniping was fucking amazing. If you were good at sniping, if you had a good sniper in your team, listen, we won the fucking half the K7 S&Ds because we had two snipers on the map, or a sniper on the map. UGK, we had two snipers on almost every S&D map.
That makes sense too. Hold
And
on
it
2
was,
points.
and if me and Hulk were sniping and we were hitting shots, we weren't losing. So it's like, people nowadays, like it's hard to play against a sniper. People don't want to play against a sniper because it limits what you can do. And that's the thing is, people are so used to being able to do whatever the fuck they want on the map, and when you put in something that stops it, they hate it.
Yeah. I don't think I agree with them taking out snipers. I was gonna ask you
No,
about
there's
that,
no fucking
but
reason to. This year, there's
there
no
is
fucking
no reason to.
to.
It takes out the only enjoyable fucking part of the game mode.
This year, half the S&D maps, you can't even use a sniper. Let's see. Castle, you can use a sniper. Berlin, you can use a sniper. And Demyansk, you can use a sniper. Okage, you're not taking out a sniper. Tuscan, you're not going to take out a sniper. You take out a sniper in Tuscan, maybe. You're fighting with fire, though, because they're not 100% chance of hitting anything. And they could get to your side very quick. But, like, Demyansk, I could see you could play on top of a building with a sniper. Berlin, you could fucking snipe the cross. It's like playing Arklov Peak. You could snipe the cross from one site to the other.
Yeah, I got you.
But I think sniping adds an aspect that we need in COD, and we're just not going to fucking have it because nobody wants to play against it. Fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb to me at least. You already answered if there's any broken guns. All of them apparently are broken.
The top three right now, yeah, they're pretty fucking broken. Even the Type 100 is kind of nasty. I don't think it's better than the P40, but it's kind of nasty.
So you gonna compete this year, or are you going to hang back and content create, or are you still undecided?
Well, be in a K7 tourney tomorrow.
You're in a
Be in a
K7
K7 tourney Sunday.
Oh, you're
And
competing.
and if I
the
wasn't
K7?
getting out tonight, I'd probably be in another tourney tonight. So you tell me what that answer is.
So competing. So we're competing this year.
I'm back.
I guess I need to start tuning in to the K7 League again. Hopefully their announcers have gotten better. Ooh.
No, they're the fucking same. I'm gonna compete until it's just not worth it, and then I'll end up going into content, maybe make YouTube videos. We'll see. Thought about making YouTube videos. Pull like an Octane, just start recording videos, like fucking
I can
pub
see that. Or
gameplay.
you could do content highlights, like stream one day, get all your recording done.
Yeah, I thought about doing like even like a GB series, like fucking not even a road to
I wouldn't
100 and
mind,
0
boy.
because we're gonna lose, but like just playing
No,
GBs and like
100 and like question mark or whatever.
exactly, and just keep posting. Like you lose. Like that way at least. I think that adds a different aspect because like when you put road to 100 and 0 and you post, 99.9% of the time people think you're gonna win the map because you're posting a road to 100 and 0. If I put road to
Yeah.
100 and 0, they have no clue, so now they're more into it. Like if we lose map series 1, people are gonna be like, "Oh shit, they're not winning it, or they're not just winning." So now you're gonna watch it to see are they winning or losing.
Yeah, I think it could be really fun, and it just it'll. I think that'll be a fun project to take on as a whole.
Yeah, and I think it lets me put my time into other things. Not only that, I'm gonna have to see how it goes though because I've been literally playing in everything as I can.
I get you.
So I don't even know. Like we were in a tourney and we lost, but if we continue to be in the tourney, I don't even know if we would do the podcast tonight.
Yeah, I was curious. I thought that was what was going on. Was you had a tourney and
No,
then
like me yesterday, me, Eric, Senpai, Remy, and Bandy went to quarters of a CMG tourney. So like, you never know when you're gonna how long you're being it for.
yeah, I get you. Well, like I said, bro, if this is just to be stated. If shit since it's COD season right now, it's we're in season here. If anything ever comes up where you need to do anything or like you got a tourney to play and we need to postpone, just let me know.
Nah,
Then
we're
we'll
gonna
figure
we're
it
gonna
out.
have to stick to Wednesdays because like realistically, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are more tourneys than
Your
anything.
days. Yeah, I get you.
Right now because the game's out, there's fucking tourneys every day. Obviously, when the game goes on, there's gonna be tourneys every day because CMG always hosts. But like, there's more tourneys now in the
Then there
beginning of the
will
game than
be.
there will be later on. So that's why I'm
I
just
get
kind of
you.
getting into everything. I don't know. We're gonna see. I kind of want win a couple golds this year.
I believe you could. You're talented enough,
I think
and you
so
got a
too. I
team.
think if I learn the game, I'm just gonna fucking be able to
Have
actually
you
like.
learned more in the start of this game than you have in previous
No,
gods?
no.
No. Still haven't figured shit out yet.
Previous CODs I went into it with a different mindset. Like going into MW. I went into MW. Obviously, MW was a great year for me. Everybody knows that. But MW is where I got my swagger, I guess. MW is where I got my ego. MW is where I got my swagger. So going into MW, I was just another guy who was probably gonna go play GBs, lose a bunch, win a couple. So I didn't sit there and think like this is my year. Like I never thought that. I never got into a game and was like this is my year because it never was.
Yeah.
MW I got my swagger, but before MW I sat there and I watched Haggy, I watched Scump. I sat there and watched streams. When I wasn't in school or working, whatever it was, I was sitting there watching streams, learning. I really haven't done that this year. I've just kind of played and learned off of playing. And I noticed that a lot of these kids I'm playing in S&D are a lot better than me. Not even gun skill wise, they just know exactly what the fuck they're doing. I'm catching nades from across the map, and that changes a
Understandable.
different aspect from what I'm me not watching. I'm losing what I'm learning because I'm not like being into it. You learn, but like you're also kind of in a fight or flight. When you learn, you can learn to set up faster. And when you're watching,
Yeah.
you can learn to set up better.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I learned a lot more in the beginning of MW. Cold War, I went into it without learning shit. I watched a little bit, but I was like, fuck it, dude, I'm nice. Like, what? And then this game, I went into it thinking, like, I'm not going to compete at all, so I didn't really learn. And then I started playing, I'm like, I'm kind of nice. So,
Might
uh,
have to
I'm going
learn
to
some
spend some
shit.
time. Yeah, I'm going to spend some time watching probably Haggy. See, another thing is MW, I watched Rasim. Obviously everybody knows I'm a huge Rasim fan, but I sat there and watched Rasim from 3 in the morning till about 7 in the morning, and then I didn't go to sleep. But me watching Rasim, I learned everything I possibly could in
Real
S&D.
passion.
I learned everything I possibly could in S&D. Everything I did in S&D and MW is all catered to Rasim.
Respect to the man.
I learned little
Speaking
nerd
of,
spots, everything, man.
speaking of, popular people, I think it's time we switch over to the CDL.
Yeah, let's get on into it.
So the first thing that I noticed was the most recent thing. Paris Legion finally announced their roster.
Yep.
And the reception of said team is very, very skewed. Like it's seems like people are not really a fan of the roster this year.
I'm not a fan either. But at the same time, people have to understand. I knew the roster already. The roster got leaked months ago. We were just waiting for Paris to do anything. It was a rumored roster. Let me see. It was what? It's Desi, Temp. I have it open.
It's Decimate, Philo, Temp, and John.
Yeah, Desi, Temp, Fellow, and John. So this team was rumored. It was actually rumored Temp, Desi, Fellow, and somebody else. I don't think John was on this team. John was rumored to be teaming with Methods and TJ Halley.
Yeah.
So I wasn't part of this team. I wasn't expecting, but I knew that Paris was going to end up with Temp on the roster. I knew that Desi was going to be here. It was just a matter of when the fuck's Paris was going to do anything. And now a lot of people are going to give some hate on this roster, but realistically, there's nothing you can really hate. There's nothing you could say. Like, if you sit down and look at it, everybody that is talented enough to be on a pro team, I'll take that back. A lot of people are talented enough to be on a pro team. A lot of people who are talented enough to be stars in the league got picked up. Your free agents who were, superstars are already still picked up.
Yeah.
I could see, Havoc. Havoc's not on a roster. Pristini's a sub now. Like, Sheen retired. Vivid's on Florida. Like, that's actually a streaky team, man.
I think I read somebody say that Paris has the potential to be a top 6, top 4 team potentially. Assuming on how they all play, we won't know until they actually play the game. But it also, there's people with your opinion, where it's all, this team's going to be dog shit this year.
I don't think they're going to be dog shit. Well, actually, let me think about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No fucking way. There's no fucking way. It doesn't matter how good they are. There's no way. Because they could be all of these players. If you take all of these players and put them at their best, they're still not a top 16. This team has a lot of fucking role issues. John's a main sub, Temp's a main sub, Flex main sub, Fellow main sub. Decimate is gonna be their main AR. That right there.
So you got 3 people that are already interfering with each other.
Yeah, and I don't even know when Decimate ran a main AR. The meta right now is a lot of maps is a 1 AR 3 subs. So other maps
it kind of works.
The other spread maps are 2. No, Decimate's not a main AR. What team did Decimate? I don't even know what team Decimate ever ran a main AR for. Now I think about it, he's been a flex/sub his whole career.
Oh, I thought you said he was gonna be main AR. I didn't realize you were saying he plays sub.
No. He's gonna be main AR, but this has full role issues. They don't have a true main AR on their roster, which I'm interested to see what they do with it. This isn't a team that I think, because of these role issues and because these guys are none of these guys are superstars anymore. Temp is not a superstar anymore. Sorry, Temp. Unless you turned around this year, you haven't been a superstar in 2 years. Decimate, you got dropped off of Seattle. Fellow, you've been a sub, you've been in and out. You've been good, you haven't been a fucking superstar. John, you've been a superstar one time in your career. We haven't seen you in the league for a bit because, whatever, the Addy thing. But, hey, fuck it, we move on. I just don't think that this team is... Because people who are saying they're a top 6 team, you're sitting there and you're telling me that this team right now is better than Dallas, Texas, or Optic, Texas, sorry, Shotzi, Illy, Scumpadashi. You think they're better than them? You think they're better than at least one of these teams? Sorry, not. You think they're better than either, Scump, Dashi, Shotzi, Illy? You think they're better than Simp, BC, Celium, and Arcides? You think they're better than Hydra, Clacer, Neptune, Crim? You think they're better than Bance, Insight, Cami, Kleenex? You think they're better than Priest, Attach, Major Maniac, or Standy? You think they're better than Draza, Kenny, Octane, Envoy? Or you think they're better than Slasher, Seam, Huke, and Gunless? If you think that they're better than any of those teams, I don't know what to tell you. That's what? How many teams is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 teams right there that they're not better than. I just gave you.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to how they actually play. We won't really know until they play.
Yeah, of course, and that's another thing too. Is you can have a team like Scump, Dashi, Shotzi, Illy might fucking suck.
I don't know, but I really fuck with their new logo.
I think it looks clean. I think it looks really clean.
Yeah,
Can't
I
wait for the
think it looks
merch.
really good. So moving on to the next one, Optic Texas. They finally announced, or it was officially confirmed that their merger with Dallas and Optic or NV Gaming is now combined. And Optic Chicago's brands will be retired. The organization's CDL team will be known as Optic Texas. And the Texas lineup is, as you said, Scump, Dashi, Shotzi, and Illy. What do you think?
What are your thoughts on this?
On paper, this should be the people competing for top. Like they should be top 3 at all
They should be,
times.
top 3. I'll give them. I think they should be fighting for top 2. I think they should be with FaZe at the top all year long.
Yeah, I don't think that on paper they should not be below top 3.
Yes, 100% guaranteed. My opinion, I love this whole move. I just think that bringing Hastro and Hex, who are 2 big names in esports, together is huge. I think the fact that a lot of these guys, like the thing is the Warzone streamers all became a part of Optic now. So like you just brought Tyler TP back to Optic, like that's great. Rambo Ray's back in Optic, that's great. Like
Yeah, it's such great PR and such a great following for them.
exactly. Not to mention my wife is on Envy, so like it all to me just is beautiful. I love it
Your
all.
wife?
My wife is on Envy. Yeah, I love her.
Who's
No,
your wife?
I can't expose myself. We'll keep moving. But yeah, I love her. Yeah, I think
Do you
they should be a
think
top 2
Dashi
team.
will regain his passion?
So here's the thing. Obviously Dashi is very fucking talented. Kid's got a lot of talent, but he also has regain issues.
Inflated ego.
Not only that, he doesn't take things as serious. He tends to sleep through things. Now, this team is very young. Shotzi's 20, Illy's 20, Dashi I believe is 21 now, and Scump is 26.
Old boy, right?
Yes. Now, Scump is a leader of this team. He's a
He has to
decent
be.
leader. He doesn't. That's the thing. You think that he doesn't. Matter of fact, Shotzi and Illy are complete leaders at their young age. Illy is one of the Illy has the most complete control over his emotions when it comes to gaming. Illy, that's all credit to him. Like that dude is young and a fucking leader. Stays composed, keeps everybody around him composed. Illy's super smart. I think this move works really well because you're not taking 3 young players, Dashi, Shotzi, and Illy, throwing them to a team and thinking, okay, well this team's gonna be super immature and they're not gonna take things serious. No, Illy and Shotzi are so fucking intense when it comes to this that they're gonna. I think they realistically, I think all 3 of them, Shotzi, Illy, and Scump, keep Dashi in check. I think this team's gonna be great all year.
I hope so. I hope for them, and I think so this is my personal opinion. You have 3 really young people. I don't know how long Scump plans to play. I mean he's still young in terms of
I could see the future.
actual age.
Scump retires in the next 2 years. Envoy comes back. Optic's the best team in the league.
You think?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Envoy's coming back to Optic when Scump's gone. Envoy is the next Scump. He's the prince of Optic gaming. I'm telling you that right now.
I could see
somebody
that.
clip it and stay here for 2 years.
Scump and Envoy really do have. I'm pretty sure they still maintain a pretty a really good friendship.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But even like when Cold War and they were doing the road to 100-0, you could see like just how much Scump had rubbed off on Envoy in general.
Yeah. That's what hurt the most. Like I don't know if you watched the process.
No, I didn't.
I cried. But see that team last year was like different than what normal Optic fans experience. Like I don't know. The Dynasty team was super talented, but and they were good friends, but they weren't at the same time. Like they had their personal space. This team was like 4 dudes that were like best friends. Like they had laughs. Yeah. They didn't win, and that's what hurt, but they were like best friends. Like dropping a single person on that team, obviously Fomo retiring. Like, dude, watching Envoy cry hurt. Like actually hurt because that's a team of best friends, and obviously it didn't work out, so they made a move. But like that team is the most vibiest team I think I've witnessed as an Optic fan.
Yeah, I could see that. But going back to my original point that we were talking about was they set themselves up to be still a really talented team whenever Scump leaves.
Yeah, 100%. They're built for the future.
Yeah, they built themselves very well for the future, especially with Shotzi and Illy being added. Dashy still being 21, he obviously has quite a bit of experience, and he's still an incredibly talented dude. Hopefully, they'll be able to keep him in check, and I hope for the best for this team because I've been a longtime Optic fan for. They were my childhood essentially.
Yeah.
So I want nothing for but the best for them. That's my biased opinion, but they do look really good on paper. Like, yeah, I hope that things go well.
I personally think the top 3 teams this year are going to be uh, Optic Texas, Atlanta FaZe, and the New York Subliners.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this right now, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Crim and Clay win ring number 4 together.
That wouldn't surprise me either. This team, the Subliners team, look really fucking good.
Yes. Crim and Clay are 2 leaders who are still very good. And they have 2 young guns who are. Hydra is a phenom. Like, he's nasty. And, Nep is also nasty.
I'm excited to see Subliners play.
They already beat Optic.
Fight. Really?
Yeah, they already sent Optic home in a tourney. I believe New York has won. Actually, matter of fact, I don't know what they placed, but they just spun a wheel for the TST tourney, and the roster was So it was all subs, and they had to spin a wheel for their AR duo teammates. It was Scump and Shotzi with Crim and Clay.
That
for 70K.
Jesus.
It was fucking great, dude. Vibes were great. I loved watching that. It was so funny. I'm pretty sure they lost to.
Does Crim still have a pretty good relationship with, like, Scump?
Yeah. They squashed that beef, but it's more like a PR thing, and it's very funny. Most Optic fans are always joking. A lot of people take it to heart and threaten him. Weird. Fucking really weird.
Yeah, because, like, I don't see anybody having, like, obviously Crim just decided that teaming with them wasn't his best choice.
Yeah.
Or,
no, he
they
got
decided
dropped.
They needed to part ways. But I didn't think that they had any, like, real big beef. I mean, maybe at the start of MW. But...
They actually did. Yeah, at the start of MW, they squashed it. Now people are saying the beef's with fucking Shotzi because they dropped Clay. Or they dropped Crim, I mean. But nobody has beef. It's all a stunt.
PR.
Yeah, it's all a stunt that makes storylines happen.
Yeah, because imagine whenever you hear that, like, people are going to be shit talking all over Twitter, Crim versus Scump again.
Exactly.
This year, Shotzi versus Crim and Clay. Imagine the views for that tournament.
Exactly. Like, imagine a finals with those two. 50K viewers right there.
Easily. Yeah, it'll be insane.
So I think,
want to talk about? Oh.
No, I was about to say, I think a lot of these teams actually are better. I think the competitiveness of this league this year is going to be much better. The bottom's not, like, the bottom could be the top team any given day. We've never had that.
Yeah. What do you think about the old hashtag Fear the Deep?
So Dav Patty, Awakening Skies, and Vivid. I actually think that's a pretty good team, but it all depends on how Awakening plays. If Awakening plays like MW Awakening, it's a fucking good team. Now, if he plays like last year, where he was very mid all year, the team's not gonna have a lot of success because Skies is pretty good.
They have
Skies
a lot
is more
of
than pretty good.
Mid team, or Skies is a AR, right?
Yes.
So he's not supposed to be a top frag anyways.
Nah, but he can. That's the thing. Is Skies, even last year, Skies took over games for Florida. I think Florida has a really good, like, Vivid is really good. Vivid is so underrated. Vivid is probably the most underrated player in the league. Vivid gets in and he does his role, and he does his role perfectly. Vivid is very talented. People, kind of hate on Vivid. Not necessarily hate on him, but, like, people don't give Vivid the credit he deserves, and I think pairing him up with Awakening, like, if we get a good Awakening this year, alongside Skies and Vivid, I'm not sure how Dav Patty's going to do his rookie year. I haven't watched anything about Florida, but I'm telling those 3 right there, that can lead to success. And if Dav Patty plays well, Awakening plays good, Skies continues to play the way he plays, and Vivid plays the way he plays, I think that team's a top 6 team, top 5 team.
I could see it.
It's tough because, like I said, everybody's competitive.
Are going to be coached by Willett and Hughes, and was announced as a substitute, or Hughes was announced as a substitute in October.
Yep.
Florida parted ways with their other coach, Atura.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they released Neptune on October 6th.
Yep.
Next team that shows is the Subliners. We've already talked about this. Holy fuck. This team looks really good.
So I think Crim and Clay If you're a young guy and you're coming in the league, the best players to play with are Crim and Clay. Crim and Clay are going to get you right, and they're going to get you in the winning mindset. Crim is the most winningest player of all time. Him and Clay are tied at the top with 3 rings with Damon. So like these guys know how to win, and they're going to teach you how to win. If you're a young guy, this is your best bet. So Neptune, you're in great hands. Hydra, you guys are both super talented and young, and you're going to be playing alongside the best.
All that's going to come down to is how coachable they are in the end, because Crim and Clay will teach them how to win. And how to outsmart. It's just how to be teachable. You have to be coachable, you have to be teachable, and you have to listen.
I think Paco, coming from France and not speaking very good English, he is going to be extremely coachable, because he's going to listen to everything they say, because he's coming from France and he's not necessarily the outsider, but he's not from here, so he's going to listen to everything his teammates tell him, and he's young. And Neptune, I think, is the same thing. I think Neptune was really good last year with Florida. But I don't think Florida had anybody to coach him. Florida was also young. Their leader or their veteran was slacked. Their veteran was slacked, and that right there tells you enough. Then their next veteran was Colt Havoc. So putting him with Crim and Clay is going to teach him how to win. And if he can listen to what they say, that team's going to be really good. I'm telling you, I think they're a top 3 team. They could win champs.
I can see it. Yeah, this team looks extremely good on paper. Next team, Seattle Surge. Thoughts?
Accuracy, that is pred accuracy. Yeah. So that's a team that, like I said earlier, okay, don't take this the wrong way. I think they're a bottom 2 team, and that's not as in they're bad. Sib is extremely talented. Sib is extremely fucking talented. Now he's back together with his duo, Mac. That's a good sub duo right there. Accuracy, the Iceman, he's a good main AR. People don't give him credit where it's due. I think accuracy is a good AR. The team's gonna be really good at S&D. The problem is who they're matched up against. That team is really good.
We just mentioned the team before, Optic Texas. Is looking really, really
FaZe
good.
Is still there. Toronto Ultra, this is a good team. But once again, when I told you earlier that the whole league is very competitive now, this is what I mean. This is going to be a good team, and they could probably end up beating the likes of Optic Texas. They could beat New York Subliners. They're not going to do it consistently, and they're not going to be a top 3 team. They're not going to be a top 6 team. The only way I see them doing that is if, somebody has a bad year or they don't mesh well. Then I can see them maybe hopping in the top 6. I still think they're going to be a bottom 6 team. They're not the worst team in the league. I know who the worst team in the league, and we're probably going to talk about them soon. Devin, thank you for the tier 1 sub. 23 months.
Appreciate
Holy
you,
shit, we're almost at 2 years.
I love this. Next team, Toronto Ultra, as you mentioned.
No changes.
They locked in their roster until 2023.
Yes.
And they have Insight, Cammy, Vance, and Kleenex. And Methods was released on August 29th.
That's another team I could keep short and sweet. That's going to be a top team. This is not a team full of superstars. Obviously, Cammy played like a superstar last year, and that's going to be where their team success comes from. If Cammy continues to play like a superstar like he did last year, this team will be great. This team is really good when it comes to their what's it called? I can't think. They're really good when it comes to their teamwork. Vance is a good leader. Insight, came in the league last year. He fried. He played amazing. Insight was, I think he won Rookie of the Year. I don't know if they gave that award yet, but he should have won Rookie of the Year if he didn't. I think that team is going to be good again. I don't think they're going to be anything crazy. I don't think,
Yeah, they're not going to be, they might not be in top,
I think they had a really good year last year. That's the thing. I just don't know if it was a good year because that team is that good, or if they just had the best teamwork. It definitely wasn't a fluke. That team is talented, but it's are they talented enough to beat FaZe, Optic Texas, and the New York Subliners now?
So you think it came down to more of their fluidity?
100%. If you watch Toronto Ultra play, they have the best teamwork in the league. They play together. They play off of each other so perfectly. And, Cammy broke out last year as a superstar. That guy was in the MVP running. He played like a superstar. So I think that's what really... If Cammy doesn't play like a superstar this year, they're not going to be that good. Their teamwork's only going to get them so far where, Insight and Cammy And even Bance, Kleenex too, they all had amazing series last year, and they're going to need that again this year, but consistent to be at the top. Listen, they could be a top 3 team. Don't get me wrong, they could be a top 3 team easily. It's just going to come down to how they play, and a lot of these teams are really fucking good now with the changes they made.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see. We've announced some really good teams. I want to talk about one that's still a little unknown, and that is the Royal Ravens. They announced their departure of pretty much everybody. It seems like they parted ways with Shawnee, Alex, Paul X or whatever, Zed, and their coach. And it says they plan to build their roster around Afro, but it's unconfirmed.
Hold on. I have the roster. I'll tell you right now. Their rumored roster. Okay, so this team is they're going to be bringing Trey back, Zero, Nasty and Gizmo. He had a visa issue last year, so he couldn't play. That's one of the best European players of all time, him and Bance. So yeah, they're eyeing Zero, Nasty, and Gizmo. Eyeing questionably or in quotation marks. That's going to be the roster. I'll guarantee you that right now. You could put any money to bet me right now. That's the roster. Okay. So it's going to be. This is. Remember when I just said that the Seattle Surge is not the worst team in the league? This is it right here.
Oh, you think the London Royal Ravens?
Yeah, 100%.
Shit the sheets.
I don't know if they'll shit the sheets. I just think Afro played really well last year. Now, is he the guy that's just going to come in and play fucking amazing this year? Who knows? Is he going to be like Simp where he had a good year and it just kept going? We'll see. But if he doesn't have a good year, you're bringing in Nasty and Gizmo fresh into the league, and Zero, who's been out of the league for a little while with visa issues. I don't even know how much COD he's really played lately. Obviously, Zero's got a lot of talent. I just don't know how they're going to compete against a lot of these teams. Once again, like I said, Seattle Surge. I had nothing but high praise for Seattle Surge. They're not going to be a top 6 team, but I had a lot of high praise. I think Seattle Surge beats this roster. On paper, they beat this roster. It's just going to come down to how they play. Seattle Surge is another young team, but I think if you match it up, I think Mac is better than Afro. Yeah, people are going to look at me like I'm fucking crazy. I think Zero is better than Accuracy, and I think that Pred and Sib, the new guys, are better than Nasty and Gizmo, London's new guys. So that's my take. I mean, I could be totally wrong, obviously, but I think that this is going to be the worst team in the league. And once again, the league's very competitive. They can end up beating. They're not going to be like the worst team by like no wins. They're going to be the worst team, but like it's going to be close. 3. Maybe even more than. They might have like 5 wins, bottom of the league.
Yeah, I got you.
Who have we not talked about?
We got 1, 2, I think 3 left.
Yeah, one of them
4.
hasn't changed,
4.
and 2 of them. Oh, who's the other one?
So we have
3 left. 1 hasn't made a change, and 2 of them are in the same state. Same city.
Yeah. So
let's talk about the Minnesota
first.
What do
you want to talk about?
Minnesota. Let's just get Minnesota out of the way. Minnesota, Priest attached Major Maniac Standy. They didn't make a roster change. Obviously, Standy was really good last year. I think that team is really good. Them not making a change is going to hurt them. The reason why I want to talk about them now, the reason why I want to talk about them first is because these next 2 teams that made a change are already much better than this team right now. That's why I wanted to wait. So, this team, obviously, they won a major last year. They were good.
Yep.
They won a major, so they didn't want to make a roster change. Now, here's the thing. That's smart. I understand that. If you're a team that can produce a win.
It's an easy save money play here.
Not even that, because you got to think, if you go after another player, you're losing a contract of one to get another. So you're not really losing money. It's just more they think they have the means of winning. And I respect that. You won a major last year, but here's where it comes into play. You didn't make a roster change, and almost everybody else did. Optic Texas is a lot better than you. You had their number last year. They're better than you this year.
Yeah, on paper.
On paper, of course. You're not making a roster change is not going to help you beat FaZe. You know, a team that beat you all last year. So, like, if everything continues, you're not better than FaZe. Once again.
Did FaZe make a change?
No. The only thing they did was bring in Pristini out as a sub.
As a sub. Okay. Well, that's out of the way. FaZe is going to be good this year. We already know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is I think the New York move and the Optic move is the only thing that really touches FaZe right now.
As of right now, yes.
So that's the thing. Minnesota, I respect that you try to keep the same team. I don't know if this was a money move or if this was just, you know, you won a major, you think you have everything that you need to win. And if you think that you have everything you need to win, I respect it. I tip my hat to you. You know, good luck. But a lot of these teams made a roster change and they became better than you. And we're going to talk about the next two right now.
I mean, who to fucking start with? I kind of want to talk about the Gorillas.
Yeah, I kind of want to wait for it. I want Thieves to go last. All right, LAG.
It seems like Gorillas made it like a complete change, right? I don't remember what the team was last year.
Okay. I'll tell you right now. Their roster last year was Apathy, Silly, Assault, and Mental. Cheen was on the bench, Nero was on the bench, Mox was on the bench, and Exceed was on the bench. But some of those guys rotated in and out last year.
Yeah, and all of those are now free agents, and then they picked up Slasher, Gunless, Asim, and Huke.
Top 5 team. Once again.
Easily.
That's
surprising because everybody thought Gorillas was going to be shit. Because I remember watching them in Modern Warfare, and they were ass.
Top 5 team easily, but no. This is where my point of every team is good this year. I don't think that this team is better than Optic Dallas or Optic Texas.
I don't think so either.
And I don't know if this team is better than the other LA team.
It's hard to say.
I genuinely don't think they touch them. See, here's the thing. If Huke comes out and plays like the fucking prime Huke that everybody knows and loves, this team is disgusting. If you get a good Gunless, if you get a good year of Slasher, Asim played like a superstar last year, this 4 on paper might be better than Toronto Ultra. They're definitely better than Minnesota. They're definitely better than Paris. They're definitely better than Seattle. Better than London. I think they're better than Florida. I just think that now this is where we get to the point where are they really a top 5 team? Is now are they really in talks with Optic Texas, FaZe, New York Subliners? Now the other teams that I think are questionable is the other LA team in Toronto. That's the top 5 spots right there.
I think that this team to win, they really have to play their heart out in the games that matter. I mean, obviously all of them matter, but like if you're gonna want to look for upsets, and you have to be able to catch them, you know,
and they're gonna be able to
with their pants down. I think they will. And
this is a team that's gonna beat FaZe.
Secure a top 5.
This is a team that's gonna beat FaZe.
You think?
Yeah, guaranteed. I told you this league is so competitive this year. Anybody can beat anybody in any given game. There is no, oh well, we're playing Atlanta, we lost. No, there's none of that this year. There's no, we're playing Seattle, we won. None of that. If you don't come to play in all of these games this year, I'll tell you that right now. To every team, if any of you decided to watch this somehow, some way, if you don't come into every series playing your game, another team is going to beat you because every team is good this year.
Except for Ravens.
But even them, they're going to end up upsetting teams. But this is where it comes into play. People are going to say that Seattle's bad, and they're going to say London's bad, and whoever else because they have a bad record. That doesn't mean shit when everybody is competitive. This is a team that might hold FaZe close. They're not going to get blown out. Their record might look shit, but they're not going to get blown out by teams. I don't think. And this is a roster that really, if they come to play, they could beat FaZe. They could beat Optic. They could beat Toronto. They could beat the other LA team. This is a team that has a lot of guys that at one point in their career were one of the best. You know, Gunless was once one of the best players in the game. Huke, disgusting. Slasher was one of the best main ARs ever. Asim, last year, played like an absolute stud. You just put him around great players. That team's just going to be better. He's going to be better.
Yeah.
And what do we got? The last LA team?
Yes, sir.
This is probably my favorite team, aside from Optic, you know, that just got built. You want
Can I just say, I also really like their hoodies.
Oh, yeah. It's a hoodie org.
Their team hoodies. Yeah, I really like the LA Thieves like logo that they kind of built it around. I don't know.
You want to drop this roster on me?
Draza, Kenny, Octane, the ugly goat, and Envoy, the sexy man himself.
Personally, so this team is going to be Octane running main AR, obviously. Octane
Has to
is
be.
the best main AR in the league. The
Yeah,
best main AR in the league.
People made fun of him for having, not being the most attractive human being.
And,
But he's still incredibly talented, and he will smoke you, your family, and your fucking cousins. So,
and I'm going to say this right now. The last time we had a World War II game, Kenny was the best sub in the game. Now he's a flex, but Kenny was the best sub in the game. Kenny was nasty at World War II. Now, if
Kenny have some major ego problems though?
I don't know. When he was on TK, I just know he was fucking disgusting. He was the best player in the game.
Well, like even recently, I thought he had some pretty major ego.
Yeah,
problems.
because he didn't want to run the main AR because he wanted to be the guy. That's why
he wanted to be the one making the plays.
When LA Thieves struggled, they took Slasher out to make Kenny a main AR because Kenny wanted to be that guy. It didn't work because Kenny's not a main AR, but
no.
I think now you put him with Sam and Octane and him. That's a great bond they already have. They already played 100 Thieves together. You have Draza there, Draza is that young guy he's talented. That's the thing is Draza's not bad by any means at all. Draza's good. And that's the thing, on paper, you might say the other LA team's better because on paper that team is all stars, but like Draza's a talented kid. And he's going to listen to everything they say. There's no ego problem there. Yeah, he's going to do whatever anybody wants him to do.
He's going to be one of those people that he has to force himself to be coachable. And if he does,
he is coachable. That's the thing. He's coachable already. So he's going to be that player on this team that if, Kenny and Octane say do this, he's going to do it. And that's another thing is like you might have another team like Optic, you may tell Dashy do this and he's going to be like, what the fuck? Fuck you. Like that's where an ego thing comes in, and Draza doesn't have that. Draza's gonna do whatever they ask him to do, and now you have Envoy, who's one of the best subs in COD.
Yeah, he's really good, and we were just talking about how he was learning a lot from Scump in general, and that he could be potentially the Prince of Optic. He's talented as he is now.
Listen, if Scump's the king, he's the prince.
I'm really interested to see how this team does in general. Like. I've always wanted to like LA Thieves. It seems like they always come short. Or they pick up a lot of hype and then all of a sudden it just completely dissipates. I really like Octane. I really like Kenny. I don't know enough about Draza to be able to say anything, and I always loved Envoy.
If with what we just named, all these rosters we just named, what's your top 5 in order?
In order?
Yes.
Me personally, I'm gonna say subliners. Fuck. I'm gonna be biased here and say Optic Texas, then FaZe. LA Thieves, possibly Ultra.
We have a similar top 5. My top 5, I think even with all the roster changes, I still think FaZe is the best team in the game. Simp and Abizi are the best sub duo that we're ever going to see. I'll tell you that right now. They're the best sub duo we're ever going to see. That team plays really well together. And, nobody on that team is ass. You know what I mean? Everybody's good on that team. Yeah. Not to mention that they can all take over games when needed. Arcides, Celium, Simp, Abizi, they all can.
I keep forgetting that they picked up Arcides too.
I think that they're going to be one this year. I think it's going to be close. Once again, like I said, it's so competitive this year. Anybody can win in any given series. I think that, until we really see this game progress, I think right now I'm going to have Atlanta at my 1. I think Optic's going to be my 2. Then New York's going to be my 3. New York's a team that could go on and win champs, but I don't know if they're going to be consistently the number 1 or number 2 team all year. And I think
early on it'll be difficult for them until they can get that team.
Well, right now I actually think it's going to be difficult for Optic. They so far have lost.
Optic's going to have a high time.
They already lost to New York. They lost to Methods team earlier today or yesterday. So I think that they're going to have a tough start, but I think once they get their shit together, it's going to be the same thing. Okay, first year, Dallas Empire struggled in the beginning of the year, and they turned it around and won champs. I think Optic's gonna have a similar situation to that,
Yeah, I can
and
definitely see that.
I think they're gonna be a top 2 team. I don't know if I can necessarily put them at 1 because I think Atlanta's gonna be dominant all year. They had the chemistry, they had the talent. So I think I'm gonna go Atlanta, Optic. Then I'm gonna go with New York, and then I'm gonna
Can
go
we
LA
just talk about
Thieves.
how Optic Texas is sponsored by the U.S. Army?
It's a fucking state, brother. They're not even a
Huh?
fucking city anymore. They're a whole state. That's Optic Texas now.
But I'm just saying, Optic Texas is sponsored by the fucking Army.
Yeah, the Army sponsored the CDL.
Oh, I didn't realize you were sponsoring the whole CDL.
They might be an Optic sponsor now, but they were a CDL sponsor.
That's fucking sick. I
MW.
love
They used
that.
to have that play where you would jump on top of on Gunrunner. You used to hop on top of the metal roof above showers.
Yeah.
And they used to be like, all right, today we're gonna watch the U.S. Army or U.S. Air Force play something. You used to smoke it and jump on top there. So yeah, they've always had that sponsor. But yeah, so it's gonna go Atlanta, Optic, New York, LA Thieves, and then I think this one's gonna be really close. Like I said, if we get the same cami as last year, I think Toronto takes the 5th spot. And if we don't get the same cami and their teamwork's not there and they don't really play at the top like they were last year, I think that could easily be LAG. Yeah, easily. But once again, like, it's tough to say a top 5. That's why I asked you to, because it's really tough to put a top 5 because, like, just because one team is
how they're gonna play. We're going completely off of paper.
But even on paper, Atlanta's 1. I put Atlanta at 1, and say I'm putting Toronto at 5 and LAG at 6. I put Atlanta at 1, but 6 could still beat 1. Like, being in the top 5 does not mean that, like, the 1 is tremendously better. Everything is close. I think the top 3 are closer to each other than the bottom 3 in the top 6, but I still think they're all, like, right there with each other. It's going to be a really interesting year. I think this might be the best year of the CDL. I think this is the first time we've had
easily.
I think this is the first time we've had 10 teams that are competitive. I don't know how competitive London is, and we don't have a 12th team.
I'm excited to see how this does seem like this will be the first exciting year to actually watch it. MW was cool when it first, was announced, but I feel like it was very lackluster towards the end.
It might also be a letdown because there might only be 11 teams.
Yeah.
We're not sure yet what Optic or the Chicago spot's going to. It was rumored to be the Washington the Washington Union or something like that. And that team is supposed to be Methods, TJ Halley, Venom, and somebody else. They're a challengers team right now. Methods, TJ Halley, Venom, and I forgot their 4th. But that team is rumored to be Washington, the Washington Union or something like that. But right now we haven't heard anything. And nobody's bought that spot yet. So until then, right now it's an 11-man league, or it's an 11-team league. And
I don't think it'll be that disappointing though.
No, I just think it's gonna fuck a lot of things up because an 11-team bracket is gonna change a lot.
Yeah,
and
one
somebody's
person's
gonna have
gonna
a
get
bye.
a freebie spot, pretty much. Yeah, at least one team's gonna have a bye every tourney.
Yeah, exactly. And like the matchups are gonna be different because you can't have 12 teams play it perfectly smooth. You have 11, so how things are gonna be played out is gonna be weird. But I'm interested. I think it's going to be a great year. I think the CDL has a lot of promise this year. I think every team is going to be competitive, and I think this is a game that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy and enjoy watching. This is not going to be a game where
I had fun just watching like you guys try to figure shit out.
Yeah,
and that's just like me being a friend watching my friend stream to moderate things and just keep in check with everybody.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun just watching the game.
Yeah, I think this game is. I think right now with what's going on with the rosters, I think it's perfect. I think the fact that this league just got so competitive, and the fact that the game is good, is leading us to a great year. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. It's 9:50 now. We've been going for about an hour and 20. You
Hour
think
24.
Yeah, think it's time to wrap it up, brother.
I'm ready to wrap things up whenever.
Cool. Appreciate everybody who tuned into the stream. Whenever you guys watch this on Spotify, appreciate everybody who's an audio listener. We typically go live on Wednesdays. It'll probably be picking back up. We've had a couple of inconsistent weeks just because of shit that's been going on. We love each and every one of you. We appreciate everybody who stopped by. Make sure you guys tune in on Sunday when things go up on the audio for Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, RSS feed, and as well as YouTube. If you prefer to watch the video version, you can catch it there if you're late to the stream that happens on Wednesdays. Yeah, you know all the sponsor links. Follow us down on our socials below. The Sector Apparel, Killer Jerky, OP Seats,
Shocked Energy.
Shocked Energy.
Cinch Gaming. Cinch Controllers.
Yeah. Code Heroics. Do it, or I'll beat the shit out of you. Yeah. I think it's gonna wrap it up from us.
That wraps up episode 12 of the WDB Cast, and it's
Holy
been me
shit,
and
we're on
Logan.
12 episodes.
Yeah,
Holy
by the time
fuck.
we hit episode 15, I'm gonna have a full mustache. So stay tuned for that, brother. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the podcast as always. You know, this is a different topic than what we normally talk about. A lot of viewers, you guys might be so fucking confused. And if you are, well, this is your time to learn about, you know, competitive Call of Duty. And if you want to learn, the best way to learn is to go to twitch.tv/MXNCNI and watch me play. But anyway, but anyway, I hope you have a great night. I hope you enjoy the stream and the podcast. And catch you guys on the next one. Stay tuned for that. And if you're listening on Spotify, I love you. If you're listening to Apple Podcast, I love you. If you're listening on Google Podcast, I love you. If you're watching on YouTube, I love you. If you're watching on Twitch, your cock's fucking massive. Like, holy shit. But that's going to do it. See you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Peace.